Hello and welcome back to the shop. Today I am going to be assembling this welding table from our favorite store, Harbor Freight. It's going to be taking the place of this thing, which I think is an old computer cart or TV cart of some sort. This I got off of Facebook Marketplace for like $15, was a good deal for me. And this has been good for me up till this point, but this table is really gonna be a lot better for any kind of welding that I need to do, which isn't a lot, which is why I got by with this for so long, and why this little hone stick welder is perfect for me. I think you can get that for $80. I highly recommend it if you don't need to do much welding. Has amazing reviews. And then also I got this Bestarc plasma cutter, $150 for that. And then over here I'm also working on this 1980 XS 1100 engine. I rebuilt this like 10 years ago when I was 10 years younger and dumber, and I really have never built an engine before, and I did something wrong and fucked this up. So the story is that engine was the original to this bike. I rebuilt it 200 miles in to the break, and I realized something wasn't right because it was consuming a lot of oil. So I pulled it, shelved it, and stored it. Now we're 10 years later, I'm actually taking a look to see what went wrong with it. It just took so long because I had, a spare engine in the bike, and I've been riding the bike in the meantime and just never got around to it. But today we took off the top end and had a look in the jug. And what do we see here? We got some bad scoring. Just in the middle two cylinders. The outer two are near perfect. And if we take a look over here on these middle two pistons, we can see there's some scoring on the skirt of the piston. And if we look at the oil scraper here, look at that bottom ring. It's gone. Same on this other middle piston. So what did I do wrong? These outer two are perfect. It was 10 years ago, but I'm pretty sure I checked all these rings and made sure they were free and moving around. I don't know. What do you think happened? I think maybe the two cylinders or the two carbs on these cylinders was running rich, washed the walls down, generated heat, the rings broke. However, the plugs came out looking fine, didn't look like they were running rich. Let me know what you think I messed up here. I was debating how I wanted to cut this. Of course, we could use cut-off disc on one of these angle grinders here. That's always an option. Plasma cutter, but cleanest cut, I'm gonna try this. Put that in the circular saw, run it, see how it cuts. It should be a nice, clean, cold cut with that. All right, you can see I got the sheet metal cut down and just dry fit in there. I cut the sheet metal with the steel demon as well. I was a little worried about it being so flimsy that it would flick up as you're cutting it, but I kept it close, clamped down to this, right on the edge, cut without a problem. So yeah, these steel demons are good shit. But the next step is for me to weld in the angle iron. I'm gonna evenly space them out, one here, one here. All right, you can see I got the angle iron welded in there. And then I also, on these inside corners, you can see right there, I 45'd them just so there wasn't sharp corners there. And now I sprayed this with brake clean. I'm gonna just hit the top of these with some etching primer. That's the other thing. Harbor Freight right now is clearancing all this iron armor spray paint. So I got a bunch of self-etching primer, which is what you should be using on bare metal. $4 a can, that's back what I used to pay for a rattle can when I was in my early 20s. Now they're like $12 a fucking can. And here's the finished product. You can see I have the grinders hanging there, and I have some more grinders I can hang off the shelf lip right there. So I can have like 6 grinders on this one side. You can see what the shelf looks like, and then the pegboard on the side. You can see I got all the clamps that came with it hanging off there. And I did it a little different than the video that's going to be linked in the description. He made some tabs up out of 22 gauge, and I decided just to flatten the box out, and then I put rivets like that into the sides. I am very happy with this thing. I checked it with a flat. I checked it with one of these machined flat aluminum straight edges you can see there, and it's really, really flat in most places. Now there's a few spots that are low, and if I wanted to fix it, I could shim it up, but I'm not doing, very detailed work. I'm just happy to have this table to do the little bit of work. It makes a huge difference. Even just doing the few things that I needed to do as far as cutting that sheet metal down and cutting like the flat stock down and things like that, the angle iron, just being able to clamp it off of this table and have it secure and not moving around, night and day difference than working over there. So I am extremely happy with it. $150, you can't beat it. All right, I'm making room for it. I had to move the fire extinguisher over there. And what I want to do yet is to be able to hang this torch and the welding clamps. And what I'm going to do is make a little hook on the inside next to the shelf so that they're hanging in this space right here and not on the outside. Save a little more room, so I'm gonna do that next. Okay, we got the hooks bent into shape on the bench vise, and I'm gonna weld this on there real quick. Just gonna use some 6013. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish these last 2 welds because my Yeswelder helmet died, and come to find out they have irreplaceable batteries. So this is where it belongs, in the fucking trash. And I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and get a titanium.